Hello and welcome to Jacques Out the Box. So today I want to modify my hand crank battery box again. I want to add a feature. There's actually a couple of upgrades I want to do, but for now I'm just going to do the one. I was at a thrift store having a look at some strange things. There's always some nice stuff to find at a thrift store, and I found two of these guys. They were strapped together, taped together, and they were $6, $5.50. So and a little FM radio. So thinking about putting a FM radio in here. So that's the plan. These are USB-C rechargeable. It uses the old micro USB, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to install or solder wires directly onto the charge port on the inside so that it can come out the back, and then hopefully double-sided tape this down somewhere. And then in terms of speakers, I don't want to use headphones every time I use it. So what I've come up with, and after a bit of testing, I found a older screen for DVD players that had two little speakers in it. So I ended up taking those out and connecting all of that up. So this is what I've come up with in terms of power. We'll see where I use this shortly. So here's the two little speakers. I just chopped off the headphones that were on here, and then soldered the speakers on, and then that goes into here, which I don't want this to be. I want to tie off on the inside so that this is just flush like this, so no wires coming out of the top of it, but obviously out of the back somewhere. And then I'll double-sided tape it down somewhere, somewhere out of the way, that so then I'll have battery. And this is nice because it's got AM and FM on it, so you can listen to weather stations and all sorts of it. So I think you can listen to the weather stations. Well, no, probably not. I think the weather station's on the 2-meter band, but normal FM and AM, I guess, is better than nothing. So it would have been nice if this could do the weather alerts and stuff as well. But so I tested this, and I have, let's see if this on. I don't know if you can hear that. So what I plan on doing is drilling holes somewhere, maybe in the side of the boxes over here somewhere, and then just hot gluing it down on the inside with just a small hole. It doesn't need to be too loud, as long as you can make out what the radio station is saying. And then in terms of charging, so this has got a built-in battery, and if I want to keep, so I sort of want to utilize the battery that's in here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some wire, maybe just some of this wire, and solder it directly onto the onto the USB port on the inside, and then have it come out, and then do the same with this, solder it onto, find the positive negative here with a multimeter, and then solder it directly onto here. So then I won't need actual USB port, and then I'll just stick it all. I'll drill a hole or something, and just so that it doesn't touch or short anywhere inside. I don't really want to tape it up because I might use it for future expansion or something in the future. So we'll check that out, and then that way I can use 12 volts. I think this can take up to 24 volts. This is just an old car charger that you stick in a cigarette lighter. It's obviously been taken apart with the spring and the fuse and all of that. So that's the plan. So we're going to see if we can put all of that together. So yeah, stick around. Let's see what we can do. So I think first I want to start off with this guy. I'm going to take this open, and I open this up, and I hope there's enough space for me to do what I want on the inside, but I'm sure there will be. Let's see if we can make ourselves some my magnet that I always use for when I take things apart, like so. I wonder if this doesn't have screws behind the face here. And it does. Nice. Alright, let's stick that there. So the audio as well as the power, I want to come out the back, just so that I can double-sided tape the back end of this to something. So I was thinking about giving like the battery output, but I ran it last night when I did a few tests and so on, and I ran it for up until this morning, and it was still playing. So everything looks good. I'm not sure how many what the impedance are on these speakers, but I guess I've got two of these, so if one fails I can always just put in another one. And yeah, so let's see. This is most likely the AM antenna. So there's lots of space here at the back. I could just drill a hole over there, and then so find the on the micro USB port, solder the wires on directly there, so see which ones give me positive, which ones give me negative, so on. And then sure, it's going to be some fine soldering there, but I'm sure it's doable. I just want to say the two outers are going to be, so one's going to be ground and the outer's going to be, I will have to give it a go. So if I take some wire, I wonder, I've got quite a lot of this, so take my wire cutter here. I always leave a, just so that you can use it if you really need to. So let's see. So the two grounds on the right and the left speaker. So I can use I don't really know if this is the right stuff for current, but there's only like 0.1 amps on the USB side after I tested it and so on. So the charge current of this is really low, so I think we should be okay with this. So I'm gonna give myself, I'll cut this in the middle here. Not the best cutter, not for this wire. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll put the two grounds together like so. I'll tie that together, solder that together, and then I've always been interested in this type of wire where they don't make contact with one another, but when you take a soldering station, let's put that on so long, you take a soldering station and you heat it up, then the solder eventually takes, and then they can short out there where the solder is. So interesting how they make this wire. So yeah, I think so what we're going to do, plug this guy in, and then I can just simply plug this in here. I can put my internal battery on. That should be charging, so then I should see where the 5 volt is on it. So take meter. Put this on DC. And then let's see. See if we can just find the I really don't want to use a micro USB. There we go. So we have that as our ground and that as our positive. Alright, so the only tricky one's going to be the positive, which is that one over there to get connected to. So, but I don't think it'll be too difficult, but we must give it a go. So I think let's get at it. Just like that. I don't know if you can see that. Alright, and I'll just make them a little bit prettier, like so. And then let's see if we can manage to solder these in here. So I've just scratched open on the board itself, and then I don't have to try and tie in there. And then right next to there where that pin comes out of the micro USB, same thing. So I wonder if I look for a spot that rings out to the positive side, then that way it might give me a little bit of easier access point somewhere. So let's do that quickly. Then that would be my positive, and it gives me easy access. I don't have to try and get so close to the micro USB port, so just makes my life a little bit easier. So if I turn these up, and I take the two brown ones, and the red and the blue, take that, roll them together, and then we'll just do a quick test to see if I should get 5 volts when I connect to these ends. Nice. So if I connect this up, should be charging. It is charging. And then if I put my meter on DC, I should then over here get 5 volts. Yay. So okay, so that means I can now charge through here. So okay, so that covers the power, and then I think this is like ferrite or something they call it, and then there's a bunch of turns of copper around it, so how the AM reception works. So this is for power, so that's done. And then in terms of the speakers, I wanna, but I think we need to go through here first. So I need to find where, and I was thinking over here on this, connect it all up so that it's so you see my orientation here. So I need to drill a hole over here. Nice. So my idea is to maybe take this switch out, and this is for lights like this, but I can still put the light on like this, so it's just in parallel with that switch. So take that out. I shouldn't use this. I thought at the time when I stuck it in here, it would be like a almost for Morse code or something to that effect, where if you want to flash someone or flash in a code or whatever, then you can flash it that way. So my idea is to put this like this, but I can't stick it down yet because I need to get it all together, and then once it's all together I can then put it all, I guess this will probably fit through there, so I can just desolder all of this and then stick it through. Alright, so then I can put it all together. Alright, so then my 2 speakers, and then this side I'm gonna use. So the idea is that I need to figure out which is the 2. I would assume on the plug, where is the plug? The ground. This is ground, and then the left or right and left or right. The way that they connect it all up, so something like that. So if I do that, then so that would be my ground, and then the 2. So I'm just going to solder onto that, solder this on, and then we should have our speaker output for that. So let's do that. Alrighty, so we can connect the ground, and then it doesn't really matter left, right. I tried running it all with one speaker, but when listening to songs and so on, some of the tunes are recorded so that like a guitar would be on the left hand side or on the left stereo side, and then if you only listen through one speaker, then you don't hear the whole tune. And you also can't just connect these two together because you're imposing two frequencies on top of one another, so you'll eventually destroy this amp. So it's not really the right way. I know there's a way you can build like almost a voltage divider, so you use two resistors that are like so you put them between you put the two resistors between your two outputs. So you put the two resistors in series with one another, and then you put your left channel here, your right channel here, and then here in the center it goes out to your speaker, and then the ground of the circuit will just go to the speaker. So in that way it's like a voltage divider. Then that way, but I think you lose a lot of I tried it. It's you lose a lot of volume and so on, and this thing doesn't have the greatest output already. So let's see. So positive. So here's my battery side, and then this is my speakers. So I don't know if that's gonna go through there. Probably not. So now normally I would make like a knot or something just to keep this from coming out and ripping off the board. Something like that, and that way. Alrighty. Alrighty, I think we're making good progress. Alrighty, so now we need to give, so the idea is to stick this in there, pull all of this through, and then stick it down, something to that effect. So if I use I've got some, so these have little bumps here for when you stack the container, so I need to try and just get some double-sided tape that's quite thick and keep it off that. Nice, it's on there. Alright, so now we move to the inside of the box. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going to put the speakers, but I was thinking about maybe just drilling two tiny little holes here and then putting them in there. Okay, so my next step is to add the speakers and maybe drill some holes somewhere and then just add them in. These are magnetic on here, so I think they should still work. Only one way to find out. Alright, and then if I drill it from this side, I'm going to do that just to catch any alrighty, and then we can take these guys, just like that. Just like that. Let me put my soldering station back on here again. Alright. Okay, then we can take these. That should be power. That should be the speaker output. So we'll take. I'm going to get rid of these pieces of wire. We should have sound now. Let's give it a quick test. Put this guy on. It works.
July 2nd.
Nice. Alright, so that works. So now we just got to figure out the power. Get that going. Move that over. I might just zip tie this or something, yeah. Piece of tape. I've got some insulation tape here somewhere. Alright, so we're going to do the power side now. So on this guy, I simply just need to connect to the 12 volt side, yeah, and then stick this down and then give it, so figure out which ones are the 5 volt. So take that, connect that up, and then we should be done. So I see there's a couple of high spots here, but that's ground, so that shouldn't be an issue. It's more the positive that I'm worried about. But I think the thickness of the double-sided tape should make that it doesn't make contact or anything. Alright, so I'm going to quickly see. We're going to connect this up. Alright, so we've got our USB car charger working. We're just going to see which one, yeah. My guess is it's going to be like the outsides. Okay. So this side's positive. Let's do that again. Alright. So positive, yeah, and then negative on this guy, yeah. So we can just connect that up. So I just want to put this off. And I can't short anything out here. Alrighty. Ain't going nowhere. And just like that. So now the only thing that still bugs me is that I know that with these small little radios, the antenna runs through these cables. So I think once I close this all up, this isn't going to work. My reception is not going to be the best. And to show you, I take a piece of wire and I just touch on one of the speaker wires. So I need to connect something up for an antenna. So what I've done is I've pulled this so that it can't make contact anyway. Pull the insulation off of the thing. So I'll let me just. I don't want any copyright infringements, so I'll keep that. Like so. And then that should be it. I'm not sure how this is gonna work with everything closed. So on the AM side, it should use the
Royal Home Improvements is already planning months ahead.
Nice. I think that's successful. It's something that's usable. I think I've got one of those small little hand crank. It's got solar and the whole radio thing with. It's got the weather alerts and everything on it. So, but that's not as cool as this. I think this is nice that I can. It's actually something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I just never knew how. I was actually thinking I was going to take. I've got like a. This is also an FM radio. I'll take all of these, just build it into kind of thing. But yeah, I think this is going to work well. So yeah, I don't know what else there is to add to this. Yeah, maybe in one of the next videos I'll add something else, or we don't know with what ideas we come up with. So we'll figure it out. But for now, thanks for watching. Set is full volume, so. If I put that on, put the battery on, that should charge. But it's not. Why is it not charging? What happened? Oh, I'm on my capacitor. It's only 6 volts, that's why. I'll put it on the battery, it should charge. There we go. So I was doing some testing earlier. So only from a certain voltage it will charge. And that was also one of the reasons why I went with keeping the battery in, because when I was doing some testing, I figured out that obviously because of the noise or whatever other frequencies or the interference from here, it changes this. So I can always charge my capacitor up, and I still need to fix this again. And I've still got a mod that I'm going to do so that this, because I keep blowing this one because of the over voltage. So, but see there, it starts charging. Sorry, I was out of shot there. But yeah, I think it's successful. Another contribution to my box. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching.